Vietnam says that it's launching a second offensive against the coronavirus. After 3 weeks without any new infections, 15 new cases have been reported since the weekend, taking the country's total to 31.
This includes a member of the ruling Communist Party who came into contact with nearly 100 people before he was diagnosed. Tung Ngo joins us live from Da Nang for more on this. Tung, what's contributed to this new spate of infections since the weekend then?
Well, this sharp increase of infection over the weekend has sent shockwaves across Vietnam, Steve and Glenda. And at the very heart of this new development is one flight from London to Hanoi last Monday. And so far, Vietnamese health authorities have confirmed more than a dozen infections among the passengers. And before those infected were discovered and reported by health authorities, those infections had time to meet with many people and travel to many parts of Vietnam, leaving behind a long and complex trails of contacts that they came into contact with. And that's worries very concern. It's a big concern for the local health authorities here. And a twist of this development is that on that same flight was a delegation of a Vietnamese minister who was returning from an official visit to the UK. And that minister was the Minister of Investment and Planning. His initial tests are negative to the virus, but he is now in quarantine in his home. But 1,000 staff of his ministry are working from home this week as a precautionary measure. But the concern now is are the member of the delegation, a senior leader of the ruling Communist Party, was infected, and he is an economic advisor to the Vietnamese Prime Minister. And the focus now is on the nearly 100 people that he have came into contact with, and many of them are senior officials of the government and of the ruling Communist Party. So this is a new development that has sent shockwaves across many parts of Vietnam.
All right, so with that, what are some of the preventive measures the government's considering then?
Well, Vietnam authorities are doing everything it can. It's racing against time to track all those people that came into contact with the infected. And that's a daunting task because there were more than 200 passengers on that flight, and they have traveled to many parts of Vietnam, including many traveled here in Da Nang where I am, and the hospital behind me. 2 of the infections are foreign nationals are under treatment here. But Vietnamese authorities also take drastic efforts. Tomorrow they will enforce a compulsory public health declaration for nearly 100 million Vietnamese as an effort to contain the spread of the virus, and they do not have much time to do that. And at the same time, Vietnamese government is trying to provide assurances for the public and also for the business community here, because we have already seen the impacts of the new wave of infection. Today, Vietnam Stock Exchange fell by nearly 6.3%, and this is the biggest fall in the history of Vietnam's stock market in 19 years.
All right, thanks for that. Tung Ngo speaking to us from Da Nang, Vietnam.